Meet me. Lost Ark PVP is amazing. So I've been playing Lost Ark, and guess what? I love it. You can watch other videos on YouTube from endless people saying the same thing, and I'm sure there's a lot of bad things about the game. I've experienced a few of them myself. There's too many currencies, too many stupid systems to keep track of, all the quests are repetitive, whatever. But none of that matters to me. Why? Because I've always been a PvP player. I've never been a PvE player. The game I've spent the most time on in my life is World of Warcraft, and I never did an endgame raid after Molten Core and Blackwing Lair. I still remember my idiot guild leader set every single raid for Friday and Saturday nights, and so it was basically mandatory to not have any kind of social life to get gear, and I ended up just hating PvE forever. So I did nothing but arena in World of Warcraft. I'm a former rank 1 player, multi-season gladiator, and for years I've been yearning for a game that gives me that same kind of arena experience. And honestly, this is the closest I've seen to it so far. So my video is going to be entirely about PvP. I don't know much about the trials and tribulations of endgame PvE in Lost Ark, whether it's good or not, and quite frankly, I don't care. I'm going to tell you why I love the PvP in Lost Ark and why I find it so addictive. Now, disclaimer, I did not play in Korea or Russia, so I'm new to the game, so if I say anything that's objectively incorrect, feel free to correct me in the comment section below. I'm fine with it. I'm still a Lost Ark noob. This is basically a first impressions video. So first we're going to go into the good, and then I'll kind of go into the bad. So number one, this is going to be a key factor for a lot of you guys. If you're PvP focused, this game is not pay to win. A lot of the controversy around Lost Ark has been whether or not it's pay to win. So let's answer this clearly. If you're trying to be some kind of competitive PvE player to beat whatever the endgame content is faster than other players, I think Lost Ark is pay to win. By definition, if you can pay money to progress, it's pay to win, even if the advantage is small. There are definitely things I saw that you can buy that are not purely cosmetic. So it's pay to win. However, if all you care about is rated PvP, then it's 100% not pay to win. I think guild battles and random duels in the world are an exception, but who cares about that? In the rated arenas, everyone is skill and gear equalized. What does that mean? Essentially, when you hit a certain level, and it's not a high level, it's like 25, you get to set your stats in what's called a book of coordination. You can change it whenever you want, and basically you're assigned the maximum number of stat points and skill points possible. Gear, there isn't any. Everyone steps into the arena with the exact same set of gear. So it honestly doesn't matter if you've put 1,000,000 hours into the game or 5. When it comes to PvP, character-wise, you're on equal footing, and that's crazy. As soon as you're able to step into the rated arenas at level 25, you are equally matched in terms of gear and skills with everyone else in the world playing this game. I can't express just how awesome this is. It means that the PvP in this game is all about skill. I'm sure there's things like class imbalances and whatever that Adobe balance patches, but the point is it's a skill-based game. And the barrier to entry is so small, it only takes like 2 or 3 hours to get to level 25, that if you don't like your class, you can easily just re-roll it and do rated arena at the same performance level as someone who's level 16 has all the best gear in the game. It literally doesn't matter. In WoW, in the old days, making a secondary PvP account meant grinding a class to 60 over the course of like 2 months and spending weeks to gear them to get like the weekly arena currencies and grinding and grinding and grinding. It was miserable. In Lost Ark, you roll a new class, you play for 2 hours, and you can compete with the best of the endgame players. That is unbelievable. So conclusion, if all you care about is PvP, Lost Ark is not at all pay to win. And feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I saw, there's nothing you can get in PvE that's going to help you in PvP, at least the rated arenas. Again, I don't care about the Guild Wars thing. Number 2, the PvP is fast-paced and skill-based. You guys know me mostly as an Epic 7 YouTuber, but let's be honest, Epic 7 is definitely not fast-paced, and it certainly takes 0 skill. The people good at PvP in Epic 7 have a lot of game knowledge, they have a lot of good gear, and they have deep unit pools, but clicking one button every 15 seconds, that's definitely not skillful. Lost Ark PvP is insane. Every click matters. The vast majority of your skills have to be aimed. Again, PvP is gear and skill equalized, yet good players can 100 to 0 bad players with ease. And when they do, you know they did it because they were just that much better than you. You'll see this in like the elimination matches. I've seen people clear out all 3 people by themselves, and it's not because of a gear advantage, because they were just so much better than those 3 people. In Epic 7, when you lose, it's time for the excuse train, right? Like, wow, that guy must be a whale. He got so lucky with gear. RNG is stupid. But in Lost Ark, for the most part, when you lose, you deserve to lose. Like, when people beat me in Lost Ark, I'm not even mad about it. I'm like, damn, that guy was way better than me. I got to get better. And that's honestly very refreshing. So what makes a player better in Lost Ark? Can you land your skills? It's point and click, but it's deceptively difficult. All skills behave differently. Some are point and click, some shoot out directly in front of you, some have to be channeled, some have long windups, some have short windups. There's an absurd amount of CC mechanics and immunity mechanics on each skill, like super armors, etc., and you have to learn all this crap. Positioning is critical, like I'm playing a sorceress, so positioning is the name of the game. If I'm in a bad spot, I'm going to die instantly. There's just an insane amount of variables to keep track of to really excel in Lost Ark PvP, and it just makes it so much fun. And lastly, because of those things, the final reason I love Lost Ark PvP is it's really rewarding when you get better. It's one of the most rewarding games I've seen in terms of PvP progression. Why? Again, because that progression is entirely related to skill. I've tried to replace my WoW Arena addiction with other games. Like I played even Terra for a while. It was a boring, grindy game, but it had a PvP arena system. But honestly, I felt like most games like that, the skill progression, there wasn't that. It was just like gear checks. Like you had to get that next tier of gear, or you couldn't beat the people who had that tier of gear. Sure, there was still skill. You got better at the game, but a lot of times you were just bullying or getting bullied by people based on the gear gap. And beating someone because your gear is better, it just never felt satisfying to me. But again, everything in Lost Ark in terms of PvP is gear equalized. So when you get better, you know it's you. It's you. You got better, it's skill. You'll see what if you haven't played competitive MMOs before. Like I actually, not to toot my own horn, I owned as soon as I stepped in because all that WoW experience honestly kind of translated over. But a lot of players, when you first step into the arena, you're gonna have no idea what's going on. And that little battle score, whatever it's called, it's probably going to be garbage. And the good players on your team probably quadrupled your damage or more, even if you're a DPS class. And you're going to feel like you suck. But as you get a feel for the game, you're going to suddenly notice that you're doing a lot better. You're going to be doing twice as much damage as you did in the previous game, 3 times as much damage. Suddenly you'll be topping the leaderboards. You're going to be taking the least damage. You're going to have the most kills and assists. You're going to barely die. And you know what 100% of that is attributable to? Your skill. You. Not your gear, not the fact that you're a bigger turbo nerd than the next guy. No, your big brain is going to be able to take all the credit for that, and I can't really describe how fulfilling that is, but you'll see as you grow from a noob to a pro, the fact that you can attribute 100% of that improvement to your skill, it's one of the most satisfying things I've seen in a PvP MMO in a long time. So now let's go into the bad, and honestly, these are not even really, well, except for one thing, most of these are pretty minor, so let's just start with minor to the worst. One, there are class imbalances, but honestly, it doesn't matter. In team, I don't think it matters too much. In 1v1, certain classes, at least in my limited experience, definitely seem to have a strong edge against others. You can circumvent it. Like you could still beat someone with a big skill gap, but let's assume 2 players of equal skill. Certain classes are going to beat other classes. But honestly, it's a tiny criticism. I'd say most MMOs are team PvP focused, because it's impossible to have this many classes and balance it so perfectly that every class is going to be equally performant against every other class. So honestly, I'm grasping at straws here, but I just wanted to point that out so you don't feel bad if a certain class seems to keep beating you. And number 2, the team ranked can screw you over with classes. Now, maybe with someone with more experience can elaborate on this topic more for me, because I don't know if this applies at the high tier. Again, I'm a noob. But sometimes when you solo queue into 3v3, the team makeups, as far as I know, are completely random. So I personally felt that when I got queued in like a team that made sense, like we had like a paladin or a bard and some kind of tanky frontline DPS, my success rate was very high. And in other games, I would get queued into weird teams like Double Sorceress and some other ranger class that was squishy, and my success rate was very low because then the other team would just train all these squishies and none of us could get any breathing room. So I don't know if this is accurate or not, or just me being bad at the game, but I felt like the complete randomness of the ranked team compositions was kind of bizarre, and a lot of times I felt like I kind of knew going into the match whether we had a high chance of success or whether we're probably just going to get boomed hard, because I'd be like, okay, my team makes no sense, I'm probably just going to lose. And again, I'm a scrub, but usually I tended to be right about things like that. Which leads into my final main criticism. This is the only big criticism that I have yet, and hopefully I'm wrong about this and you guys correct me, but I did research this. There does not seem to be a pre-made team ranked option. This is a disaster. This is my biggest criticism yet. A big part of why I liked WoW PvP was you had a team MMR, not just an individual MMR, and it's really fun to play with the same people over and over, build chemistry with them, learn how to play together, take advantage of their strengths, learn their weaknesses, like if they suck at cleansing or whatever, and you grow and progress together as a team. As far as I can tell, I hope I'm wrong about this, but as far as I can tell, from a rated perspective, Lost Ark does not support this. You can do unrated with your friends, but who cares about unrated? No one cares about unrated. I think this is a massive flaw and takes away from a lot of what I was looking for as a former diehard WoW Arena players, and I know a lot of WoW Arena players came to this game specifically for PvP, and I feel like they're all going to hate this too. So I researched this because I was like, this can't possibly be right. I'm wrong about this, right? And apparently this is true. And a lot of people said that the reason for this was to prevent people from trashing solo queuers with pre-mades, because that makes sense, right? Obviously, a pre-made team with people on Discord will almost certainly crush a random queue team. So I get that, but isn't there a really simple freaking solution to this? Keep the solo queue system the same and add a separate thing for pre-made only arena. That way pre-mades will only fight other pre-mades, and there's no possibility of a pre-made bullying a solo queue team. It doesn't make any sense. Playing with friends, communicating and calling each other retards for making a game-throwing mistake, and hearing your friend toss his keyboard across the room when he misses something. That's the best part of the PvP experience, and without pre-made rated PvP, you're never going to get that, because no one cares about unranked. No one's going to feel any like stress of winning or losing. You need it to be ranked to really, put something on the line and make the matches fun. And without a team ranked function, I think the Lost Ark PvP has a huge gaping hole in it, which is a shame because the PvP is so good. They really need to add this feature. That is by far my biggest complaint about Lost Ark PvP so far, and hopefully I'm just a moron and it's in the game and I just can't see it. I really hope that, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not see it anywhere. Finally, this is a super minor one, but ranked PvP just isn't out yet. But it's not a real criticism. I think they said it's going to come out next month. They said there's no reason to have it at launch because everyone's just leveling up. I get that, but I only played for like a few hours and I was already max tier, and a little thing popped up after every game saying I was max rank already. And yeah, I just wish they had more ranks because I lost pretty much all incentive to PvP after I hit that. So I wish that it took a little longer to, increase that bar or whatever, but I guess that's fine. I'll just have to wait for actual rank to come out. So anyways, that's my video on why I love Lost Ark PvP and why I've largely dropped E7, at least for now, to play this game. I know I didn't really talk about PvE here. It's honestly not bad either, but you guys know me by now. I'm a squirrel who likes to bully filthy humans. I don't bully computer code. Computer code didn't do anything wrong. So anyways, if any of you guys were on the fence about Lost Ark, my recommendation, my honest recommendation is try it. I don't BS around. You guys know me. I've turned down pretty much every ad offer I've ever gotten for garbage games. I've never accepted money to give a favorable review of a game. Not because I'm a great person, but honestly, I just consider YouTube money to be ass compared to my day job. But this game is legit just good. If it's not your cup of tea, no problem. Just uninstall it. It's free. It's free to try. It's the #1 played game on Steam right now for a reason, and that reason honestly goes beyond simple hype. It's just a really fun game. The PvP is fantastic. Will have longevity? I don't know. It's too early to say, but if the PvP experience is any indication, I think the game has a bright future. Now, get to work on that rated team PvP though, Smilegate, because it's going to need that. So anyways, I think that's it for this video. If I said anything wrong, I'm sure I did. Leave it in the comment section below. But honestly, the PvP in this game is honestly just a lot of fun and fantastic, and you guys really need to try it out. So I will be doing more Lost Ark content in the future. I'm just trying to not be such a scrub in the game, and hopefully that will be pretty soon. Anyways, till next time, boys, peace out.